Welcome to the last Utopia tutorial. So, optimizing this boss fight will require you to quickly react to the random patterns Robotnik throws at you, while utilizing damage boosting to get the maximum amount of hits possible, regardless of pattern he gives you. So, let's get started. So when this level starts up, you want to position Sonic right behind Eggman, roughly behind his head, but in between where the emerald is, so roughly here. So what you want to do here at the start is to intentionally trade with Robotnik here. So you'll jump and you'll get a hit on him, but he'll hit you at the same time. And that basically starts up the damage boosting process, since Pocket has very generous iframes. So you can use that to avoid taking damage for the first attack he ever does. So like I mentioned, this fight is RNG heavy. He can do one of 5 different attack patterns that I'll go through in a bit once I set up this start here. So once you in position, you want to use the music as a general cue to time this jump here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to do a medium to low jump. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you want something like that. So yeah, that allows you to get a hit in while also being invincible for a good amount of time. Optimally, you can get up to 4 more hits before your iframes come back, or your iframes run out. So you can try to take another damage boost to get the remaining 3 hits here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a cue. After you take this first hit, you want to hold right, slightly walk to him, and just full jump and get the second hit. Now, because you got damaged, you want to at least collect the ring once more before you get the next hit. So you want to sit back and just wait until a ring falls to you, and then you spin dash towards him. But after the second hit, this is where the randomness starts. So he can do 1 of 5 attacks that I'll go over now. The first thing he can do is a lunge towards you and grabs you. We dubbed this the cock slam. So he slams your ass to the ground and throws you to the wall. So this is actually one of the worst patterns he can give you, just because it's a very high chance of just taking damage and not dealing enough damage to him. So the optimal strat, if he does this, wait for a ring to come down and spin dash under him and get a jump right below him so you get hit 3 just like so. So then he'll be dashed towards the left, and he'll stand in place for a bit because he's missed his target. So you want to do next is spin dash towards him again and jump right below him again, so hit 4. And once you're on the side of the left side of the arena, you want to jump once more, and once he's moving to the right, to the left side off screen, you can get hit 5 there. So I'll try to get this. Like so. So after you get hit 5, you should run out of iframes. And from here, you want to look to the right while standing on the left side. So as soon as he pops up, you get hit here. And you can repeat the damage boosting process again. So this is the part where I want to touch on. Depending on the position Eggman is at the end of the boss fight, will determine how fast this level is cleared. The further left he is when you cleared the boss, the slower this fight becomes. Because when he is defeated and he slowly flies to the right, the screen doesn't unload until he's off screen on the right side. So preferably if you can pull it off, you wait for him to go far right before you deal the final blow. So I have 3 more hits left. 1, 2, so he has 1 more hit left to go. From here, he would also just do any other attack, the same randomness as the first setup. But if he does an attack where he can move him towards the right more, is more preferred. So here's a little difference here. If I intentionally take the first 2 hits and get the final hit all the way to the left, this will be a slower time. So this should be a 31. Yeah, 31 here. But if I intentionally get hit 6 and 7 and then wait, this will be faster. By 2 more seconds. Of course, if he does any other alternate attacks, that can vary the time you get here. But usually, the more further right he is, the better. So that's his first attack, his little arm grab animation. So here is the second one. He can throw out a dash at you and come towards you. The max amount of hits you can get is 3 before he goes off screen. And from here, you want to at least get the next remaining hits more airborne, because you will have no more iframes to get the 5th hit before you get hit. So I'll try to do this. Yeah, so after hit 4, you want to jump over him for hit 5, because you won't have iframes to just get through hit 5 before you get hit. So you want a quick hit here and intentionally take damage here. And preferably, he will do an attack which pushes him forward, and you can deal the final hit when he's more close to the right. So dash is actually a pretty good pattern to get, as long as his next attack pushes him forward. You can get a 28 or a 29 IGT, opposed to the arm grabbing attack giving you a 30 or 31, or a 29 depending on what attack pattern he does after. There's more chances to get a sub 30 if he does a dash. So I'll do once more. 2, 3, 4, jump over, hit 5, take damage, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so 28, 29 is the range if he does a dash at the start. The third attack he will do, I'll take this safe state here, because I want to talk about the last two last. So what he could do, this is a much more rare scenario. So this is after hit 2 here. So he can do a spin attack. He would only do the spin attack if you're far away from him, so this is a proximity-based attack. So roughly this would only happen if you're really trying to grab this ring efficiently. So if this happens, this is a generally not too bad attack pattern. This is a pretty consistent 29 if you get all the hits. Unfortunately, he does pan to the left, and you'll get the kill on the left. But if you can get all 8 hits quickly during his spin, you can get 29, which is still very good. 30 is average, by the way. So after you get hit 2, you just want to spin dash towards him and stay left as much as possible, because since he's gravitating towards the left, it's just easy to rack up hits if you keep yourself to the left side. So you want spin dash and then slowly just stand on his left side. And after hit 5, you should take damage because your iframes runs out. But by the time you get the kill, he should be defeated after the next 3. So that should be a 29. But yeah, it takes a lot of finessing here to stay balanced on his left. But it's relatively not bad after you get the feel for it. So that's the third pattern he can do. So the final 6 he does, they are relatively the same attack, but there is a slight difference between the two. So this attack pattern, he shoots his arm missile at you, like so. And he stays on the right side for a decent period of time. Same thing with this attack pattern, the exact same. But there's a key difference between the two. His arm comes back faster compared to one or the other. The most optimal one you want is the one where it takes longer to come back. So I'll show this one first. This is where he shoots his arm, but it comes back much later. The reason this is really good is because you can get the kill before he even leaves the right side. So you can get all 8 hits without him leaving. So what's beneficial is that it takes him a while for him to start up his second attack. And if you optimize your damage boosting just right, you can get all 8 hits, and you can get a really solid 27. You could get 26 if your damage boosting and hits are really efficient, but 27 is usually the average for this kind of pattern. So you want to do here, once you time the first 2 hits, spin dash under him, and then get a hit right below him, so you can get the next 2 hits just right under him. And preferably looking left, because this arm will come back and your iframes will run out. So you get hit by the arm and you get sent back to where he is instead of being sent to the left. So you can get the next 8 hits right behind him. But of course, like, he can also barely squeeze out another attack if you aren't fast enough. Four, 5. Did not get 5th hit. Also worth noting is that tiny jumps won't let you get the hit on Robotnik. You do have to at least jump pretty slightly higher. And if you somehow get sent to the right, you could just spin dash and jump towards him. But of course, you have to make sure you adjust your speed so you aren't slowly walking on the ground, so it makes it hard to spin dash again. Six, 7, 8. Also worth noting at this point in time, especially for this attack specifically, and if you ever come across having no rings for this fight, there's a generally safe way to fight this boss somewhat, and it requires juggling on top of Robotnik with this emerald. So this emerald is a platform you can bounce on, but you can only bounce on it once in a row. If you bounce on it twice, you fall right through. Same goes for Robotnik himself. If you try to bounce on him twice, the second landing will just make you go straight through him and you take damage. So the optimal way is to alternate between the two. Granted, if he allows you to hit on the emerald, because if he does his shot, it does let the emerald go off screen, so it makes it impossible to land on it. But it's a potential way to save yourself and keep a chain going above him if you are in no position to damage boost. 4, 5, take hits. That's the absolute best cycle you want. But now here we have the final one, which is the exact same except his hand comes back, which essentially means he gets to do his second attack much quicker, which is what you don't want. But since you have no control whether it comes back or not, you just gotta work with what you got. What would usually happen is that he'll dash a bit to the left, and you can only get, I believe, a 29 here. Yeah, this gives you 29. What could happen, if you're pretty lucky, is that he decides to do another shot afterwards, and he stays on the right side, and that can get you a 27 if he decides to do that. 4, 5. Usually the more further away you are at him, the more likely he is to shoot the shot, opposed to when you're directly on him. But you don't have as much influence to what attack he does as much as you would like it to. So the average you get if he does a short shot is a 29. So in this scenario, I would have to juggle on top of the emerald if I don't want to get killed here due to no rings. But yeah, the general thing about this fight is just reacting to what happens and just adjusting accordingly. And making good use of damage boosting. So it's good to just have an idea or a general idea of what you want to do as soon as you see the beginning frames of his attack, that you're not going to be able to know what he'll do, and just react accordingly. Because in a full game run, there's generally no manipulation attached to this. You just have to react to when it happens. But an optimal time you want for this fight is at least a sub 30. If you're very lucky, you can get a 27 to 28, but 29 to 30 is generally the average. 31 and higher is pretty much either the setup that you've been attempting to do is messed up, or you just got really unlucky with a certain pattern. But that's generally what you're looking for, and hopefully this has been helpful. So yeah, have a good one.